What's up, y'all? It's Rod and AJ. We back again for the Real Talk series. This summer we'll keep enlightening y'all on our opinions and jumping into deep topics for the community.
For those who don't know, Real Talk is a series that we develop geared towards informing young adults about things that's going on in the community. Not only the community, the country though, taking things on the national level, things that young adults need to know, such as voting, the black disease, which we'll cover today, health and wellness. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep feeding you guys good information, not only good for you mentally, but good for you spiritually. For those who don't know me, my name is AJ, recent graduate of Western Michigan University, and today we talk about the black disease on the Real Talk series. The black disease in our eyes is the mindset that prevents the development and growth of the black individual today. What do you think, EJ?
I think jealousy, it's a lot of different forms of jealousy. Some stem from just things as simple as just having your mother and your father in our homes. I mean, a lot of us young black children have grew up in broken homes and dealt with divorce and things like that. And when we look at children like myself who were blessed to actually have a mother and a father in a home, a lot of people envy that, and they envy the fact that I didn't have to go through the same struggles that they went through. And the thing we need to recognize is, instead of envying that, we need to, learn from those people who did have those good situations and see the benefit of them, and try to make your situation, when you get a chance to have a family, make your situation the right way and be that good father or that good mother that maybe you didn't have. And I think one thing in the black community, we suffer from a lot of hurt, and we struggle with the way that we display that hurt, and that's what holds us back a lot of times. A lot of times we really don't have anything against this certain person. It's really something that's been inside of us, that's been building up, that we have against maybe our family members or somebody that hurt us in our past, and we let that pain come out in all these other ways. And we need to learn how to control that and really deal with things. I know one thing that's not very big in the black community is therapy. We don't like to admit that we have flaws and we have problems, and we don't go talk to therapists, and we don't go deal with these problems that we actually have. And because of our past and our history and slavery and things like that, there are a lot of problems that's encrypted in the black community and that we don't deal with, and we actually need to. We probably need therapy more so than anybody else. But it's just something that's just not common, because we have been scrutinized so much as a race, looked down on so much as a race. For us to actually stand up and say we actually do have problems, that takes a lot, when somebody was always saying that you are different and you do have problems and you're not as good as us. But we have to learn the benefit, and we have to learn to see the benefit in saying, yeah, we do have problems, but we're going to deal with these problems in order to progress as a culture.
And to kind of wrap up with jealousy is, like Drake said, jealousy is love and hate at the same time. So let's understand the love part of it. Whether you like the individual or not, if they're doing something that's benefiting us as a race or us as a community here at Western, support. It's a lot of people here that's making good strides in the right direction. And instead of criticizing and not showing up to events and stuff like that, together we can make a bigger impact more than we will apart. And that's just something for us to think about. But from there, we're going to go on to something EJ specialized, studies here at Western Michigan University, and it's kind of like the box. A lot of black people in the black culture live in this type of box, so I'm going to let him go into a little more about that.
Yeah, like I was saying, a lot of black people, we live in what I call a box. We don't, we're scared to kind of go out and see what the world has to offer. We stay close to our communities. We don't like to go outside our communities. We don't feel comfort outside our communities. We don't feel comfort when we're vulnerable. And that's and being a minority in this country, we have to understand that we're going to be vulnerable often, because we are the minority. We're going to always be the minority in this country. So you have to learn how to deal with this, deal with that fear, and overcome that fear, and actually be okay with being yourself. I know one thing, we put a lot of each other down, as we were saying, with jealousy, and the way we dress, the way we talk, the way we act, the way we approach different situations, our aggression. A lot of things in the black community is a fight. We want to fight for everything. Since we were young kids, we always had to fight. If you was the one that couldn't fight and all this, you know what I'm saying? You had a different road than the rest of us who actually could knuckle up. So you just gotta learn how to just be yourself and not care what the next man is saying and not judge yourself by the next man. You're your own man or woman, and you set your own standards for yourself. And if you want to dress this way, and if you feel that's the proper way that you should dress, you dress that way. And if that's the way you want to act, and if you want to date somebody outside your race, I know that's a big thing, and you feel like love doesn't have a color code to it, then you do you and you do your thing, and you stop caring about what all these other people have to say about you, and just learn how to love yourself. That's one thing that we don't. We look to others for love and approval, and a stamp of approval, when we should really look within and to God if you're a religious person. But
to piggyback on what he said about being vulnerable is a hard emotion to deal with, but that's where you experience your most growth. After you're vulnerable and you approach a situation and you make it out, you could go back to that situation next time with confidence, and you won't feel so nervous or so at a disadvantage. But definitely we got to step outside that box and take strides in a different direction. And you hear it all the time. If you go down the same path as someone that you know, you're going to end up the same place. So we have to have the courage enough to experience new ventures, and also support those who are brave enough to step outside the box and do it different. Because if they wouldn't have did things different from what they were being told, who knows where we'll be? We wouldn't have the freedom that we have today. So that's very crucial in growth as an individual.
One thing I want to say too is, as a black race, we often want people to, we feel like we owe something, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, don't nobody owe us nothing, you know what I'm saying? If you sit around expecting somebody to do for you and it don't happen, all you did was you just sat and you wasted time, you know what I'm saying? And another thing is, you know, you don't need to apologize for success, you know what I'm saying? As a black man, you know, I can remember where I started changing, I started dressing different, my interests changed, you know, what I was attracted to changed. And it's like when I go home, you know, after coming to college, you know what I'm saying, people treat me different, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you change, but it's like, I'm supposed to change. Like, evolution is change, and without change, we'll always stay the same, you know what I'm saying? And I just feel like it's not even from college, it's just from life experiences that I've picked up on. It's like, I won't apologize for my growth, you know what I'm saying? If I'm a better man today because of something, if I got something going on for myself, and if I'm confident, you know what I'm saying, I'm not going to apologize for my success. And stepping out that box, you know what I'm saying, I feel like it's taking on what you can do and not apologizing, and making yourself, like he said, vulnerable. Make yourself available to other things in the world, you know what I'm saying? Make yourself available, because then you introduce new cultures and new opportunities to your legacy, your kids who come after you.
Yeah, it's all about learning, really. And I think, especially on the college campuses, to us kids that had the opportunity to come to college, we need to take advantage of that opportunity to learn, and we're not supposed to be the same. That's what college is all about. When you get here, you grow, you become a young man, you become a young woman, and you shouldn't leave here the same, whether you graduate or not. I mean, we all want to graduate, but if you spend any significant time on a college campus studying and interacting with other students from different backgrounds and everything, you should never be the same. You should not take this for granted. You should not want to be the same guy that you were coming out your neighborhood when you got here. You're supposed to leave, and you're supposed to go back and show everybody else in your neighborhood the example and set an example. And you know what I'm saying? You might be the first person in your family to graduate, but you're supposed to set that trend for your younger family members to look at you and say, you know what? I want to be like AJ. I want to be like Rod, because he went to college. I see the difference that it made with him going to college, and what he learned and how that helped him become successful in his life.
It's very important that once you receive that education that you do go back, because a lot of us black men, that's our first time people coming to college, a lot of us didn't have nobody to come back home who was from college to show us the way or to tell us how the things we're going to face with our peers rejecting our views and our growth once we come back home. So I think it's very important to us to go back home once you receive knowledge and to spread it not only to your family, but to your family and your friends, and then make sure that they spread it to their friends as well, because sadly, we're all accountable for each other, whether you realize it or not. In the other communities of different races, they're accountable for each other. Here, Dominicans, they study together all day. They sit by each other in class. They make sure that each other is going to be successful and they make it through. And that's something I think that we need to value as a race a little bit more. But it leads us into our next topic of black people being content with mediocrity. A lot of people hate going to class, but going to class is enlightening you to new knowledge and new ways and perspectives that you weren't enlightened to before. So when it comes to mediocrity, why go to class if you really just gonna try to get a C? You know, and that's not something that you're here to do. You paying all of this money to get a C, but you're not experiencing the same amount of growth as a kid who's going to school for an A+ mentality, because as EJ said, he has a friend that got nothing with 3.8s at Michigan University, and now he works at Apple. And those type of things the companies look for. They look for people to excel, not to just equal. So us as a race, man, we got to get out of that block mentality where it's cool just to be gangsters, or it's cool just to drink all night and miss a class. It's cool to be late to class, because a lot of stuff, that's the things that we're content with right now, not only as individuals, but as a race. We don't really value the education as much as we should, but this is what people fought and died over. Exactly. For us to have the privilege to come here to this university, which is predominantly white, but and still have a voice. So I just feel that as young individuals, we need to dedicate more time to the true and sole purpose that we're here for in college.